You think you're making a healthy choice with that daily bowl of blueberries, but what if what you believe is helping your body is quietly creating challenges instead? Don't panic, this isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to open your eyes. Blueberries are celebrated for their antioxidants, fiber, and compounds called anthocyanins. Respected institutions like the NIH and Harvard Health highlight their potential benefits for heart and brain health. But here's the part that often gets overlooked. Even foods labeled super healthy can cause issues if context is ignored. As we age, our bodies change in subtle yet significant ways. Metabolism slows. Insulin sensitivity may drop. Digestion becomes more delicate, and medications often become a daily routine. So, while blueberries themselves are not harmful, how they're consumed and who is eating them matters greatly. Let's start with the sugar and fiber content. Blueberries contain natural sugars, and their fiber helps slow sugar absorption. But the CDC notes that all carbohydrate intake, including natural sugars, impacts blood glucose levels, especially in older adults. Picture your bloodstream like a sink. A gentle trickle of water drains easily, but pour too much at once and it overflows. Eating large portions of blueberries alone, without protein or healthy fats, can create sudden spikes and drops in blood sugar for some people. That doesn't mean blueberries are dangerous, it means portion awareness is crucial. Harvard Health stresses that health is about overall dietary patterns, not isolated superfoods. When seniors interpret healthy as unlimited, that's when the body can experience unintended stress. Consistency also matters, particularly for those on medications. The NIH explains that diet changes can influence how certain drugs work. Even though blueberries aren't extremely high in vitamin K like leafy greens, sudden increases in intake can affect how medications perform, especially blood thinners or heart medications. Cleveland Clinic guidance emphasizes steady eating patterns to maintain medication effectiveness. Digestive tolerance is another factor. As we age, gastrointestinal motility slows and fiber processing can become more delicate, according to the NHS. Blueberries contain both soluble and insoluble fiber, which are beneficial in moderation. But abrupt increases in intake can cause bloating, cramping, or irregularity. Imagine your digestive system as a conveyor belt that's gradually slowed over time. Overloading it suddenly can cause a backup. Gradual dietary changes are far easier for the body to handle. Finally, food safety can't be ignored. The CDC warns that even seemingly clean blueberries may carry residues or microbes. Seniors often have slightly weaker immune systems, making proper washing and storage more important. The takeaway? Blueberries are excellent for health when consumed thoughtfully. They are not a shield, a shortcut, or a replacement for balanced meals, hydration, sleep, or stress management. Health is a pattern, not a single food. One common misconception is that because blueberries are natural and nutrient-dense, you can eat them in unlimited amounts without consequences. While they're rich in antioxidants, vitamins, and fiber, they still contain carbohydrates in the form of natural sugars. The CDC explains that all carbs, whether from table sugar or fruit, are converted to glucose in the bloodstream. Whole fruits slow absorption thanks to fiber, but slower does not mean negligible impact. For older adults, this distinction is vital. Insulin sensitivity can decline with age, meaning glucose isn't cleared from the blood as efficiently. The Mayo Clinic notes that metabolic changes are a natural part of aging. Even seniors without diabetes may experience less flexible blood sugar regulation. Think of your bloodstream like a highway. A few cars flow smoothly, but too many cars at once create traffic jams. Eating a large bowl of blueberries, especially on an empty stomach, can flood the bloodstream with sugar, causing noticeable spikes and dips despite the fiber content. These fluctuations can leave some seniors feeling fatigued, shaky, or unusually hungry shortly after what they thought was a simple, healthy snack. Portion distortion also plays a role. Over time, serving sizes have grown, and a small handful can easily become a heaping bowl. Blueberries are small and easy to eat, so it's effortless to overconsume, especially when distracted by TV or blended into large smoothies. The Cleveland Clinic promotes mindful eating, being aware of portions and food combinations rather than labeling foods as simply good or bad. Food pairing also affects how your body responds. Carbohydrates eaten alone are digested quickly, while combining them with protein or healthy fats slows absorption, producing a gradual rise in blood sugar. The NIH and Harvard Health both highlight this principle. Mixed meals create steadier metabolic responses. For seniors, pairing blueberries with yogurt, nuts, or oatmeal can help maintain consistent energy levels throughout the day, preventing rapid sugar highs and crashes. Beyond blood sugar, many seniors are focused on brain and heart health. Research indexed in PubMed suggests that polyphenols in berries may support vascular function and cognitive aging, but these benefits are observed within balanced diets, not in extreme or excessive intake. More is not automatically better. The key message from major health institutions is moderation and consistency. Blueberries fit well into a varied diet, aligning with WHO and CDC guidance to encourage fruit consumption for overall health. But assuming healthy equals limitless can overlook the reality of changing metabolism. Seniors thrive on steady habits, balanced plates, and awareness of how their bodies respond individually. Medications further complicate the picture. Many older adults take prescriptions for heart health, circulation, or blood pressure. Here, consistent dietary patterns matter more than most people realize. The NIH explains that medications like blood thinners are finely tuned to maintain balance in the body, particularly in clotting function. While blueberries aren't high in vitamin K compared to greens, their bioactive compounds can influence vascular activity. Sudden changes in intake can subtly shift this balance. Think of it like this. Your body's internal balance is precise. If you suddenly flood it with large amounts of blueberries, the effects may be subtle but significant. Cleveland Clinic explains that for those on blood-thinning medications, consistency in vitamin K intake is more important than eliminating it. Vitamin K plays a role in clotting, and large fluctuations can interfere with medication effectiveness. Blueberries themselves aren't dangerous. Abrupt changes in diet are what require attention. Beyond vitamin K, blueberries contain flavonoids and anthocyanins, compounds that research indexed in PubMed suggests may help blood vessel flexibility and platelet activity. These studies often report positive effects but within balanced diets, not an extreme or sudden intake. For individuals not taking medications, the body may adapt easily to increased fruit consumption. But for those managing chronic conditions, dietary changes can interact with medications in unexpected ways. Aging also affects drug metabolism. As the NIH notes, liver and kidney function gradually declines over time, altering how medications are processed and cleared. Seniors may respond differently to both drugs and diet changes than younger adults. Suddenly consuming large quantities of blueberries after reading about antioxidant benefits could produce unpredictable effects, not because the fruit is harmful, but because the body's response is influenced by multiple factors: medications, age-related metabolic shifts, and overall diet. The Mayo Clinic stresses the importance of communicating with healthcare providers about diet changes, including supplements, new eating patterns, or increases in specific foods. Assuming blueberries are entirely neutral because they are natural overlooks the complex biochemical interactions happening in the body. Stability in diet supports safety, and gradual changes allow both the body and health professionals to monitor responses. The CDC and other public health organizations emphasize that managing chronic conditions involves combining consistent medication adherence with stable lifestyle habits. Blueberries fit into this equation perfectly, but extremes should be avoided, and open communication with healthcare providers is critical when making meaningful dietary changes. Even food safety plays a role. Blueberries may appear pristine, but the CDC warns that all fresh produce can carry pesticide residues, soil particles, or microorganisms. From farm to grocery shelf, fruits pass through many hands and environments. For older adults whose immune systems may be slower to respond, proper washing and storage are especially important. Organic labels do not guarantee sterility, they simply reflect specific farming practices. Gentle rinsing under running water is usually sufficient to remove microbes, and soap should be avoided to prevent harmful residues. Storage matters too. The CDC and USDA emphasize refrigeration for perishable produce. Blueberries should remain dry until washing, as excess moisture encourages mold growth. Even a small patch of mold can spread rapidly in a closed container, and for seniors, consuming compromised fruit may cause gastrointestinal discomfort or more serious reactions depending on health status. Checking for damaged berries and discarding compromised ones preserves freshness and reduces risk. Digestive health is another crucial factor. Blueberries are rich in fiber, which is generally beneficial, but older adults may experience digestive sensitivity. The NHS explains that aging slows gastrointestinal motility, reduces stomach acid, and shifts gut bacteria balance. These normal changes influence how the body responds to fiber-rich foods. Blueberries contain soluble fiber, which absorbs water and forms a gel-like substance to support bowel movements and stabilize blood sugar. Insoluble fiber adds bulk and aids intestinal movement. Both are beneficial in moderation, but sudden increases in intake can overwhelm a digestive system that has adapted to a steady pace over years. Imagine a conveyor belt running smoothly for decades. Dumping extra material onto it suddenly may cause jams, bloating, gas, cramping, or irregular bowel patterns. The Mayo Clinic advises gradually increasing fiber intake while staying well hydrated. Fiber draws water, and without sufficient fluids, stools can harden instead of soften. Hydration can already be challenging for seniors, as thirst sensation often declines with age. Without proper fluid intake, digestive discomfort is more likely, leading to a false impression that blueberries themselves are bad for digestion when the real issue is pace and balance. The gut microbiome adds another layer. Fiber fuels beneficial gut bacteria, which ferment it and produce gas as a byproduct. This is normal and supportive of gut health, but abrupt increases can temporarily create discomfort, especially for seniors with irritable bowel tendencies or heightened gut sensitivity. Even nutrient absorption may be indirectly affected if frequent digestive upset occurs, as regular bowel function supports optimal uptake of vitamins and minerals. Gradual integration is the key. Spread fiber intake across meals, pair blueberries with other foods, stay hydrated, and observe how your body reacts. The digestive system thrives on rhythm and consistency. When changes are introduced thoughtfully, blueberries remain a comfortable, nourishing addition to a senior's diet. Media headlines often elevate blueberries as a superfood capable of transforming health overnight. Yet, major health organizations including the WHO, Mayo Clinic, and Harvard Health stress that long-term wellness depends on overall dietary patterns, not single ingredients. Balanced eating, physical activity, sleep, stress management, and hydration collectively shape health outcomes. Blueberries are an important instrument in the orchestra of health, but they cannot perform a symphony alone. Chronic disease risk, cardiovascular function, metabolic regulation, and cognitive health all rely on multiple lifestyle factors working together consistently. Eating blueberries daily while remaining sedentary, sleeping poorly, or under chronic stress limits the potential benefits of any nutrient-rich food. Variety is essential, especially for seniors whose nutrient needs shift with age. The NIH explains that older adults require sufficient protein for muscle maintenance, calcium and vitamin D for bones, and a broad spectrum of micronutrients for immune and cognitive support. Blueberries provide vitamin C, vitamin K, fiber, and polyphenols, but cannot replace protein or minerals needed for structural and metabolic health. Overemphasis on a single fruit can unintentionally displace other essential foods if appetite is limited. Sleep and stress also influence metabolic function. The CDC notes that insufficient sleep affects glucose regulation and inflammation, while chronic stress alters cortisol levels, affecting appetite, digestion, and cardiovascular health. Even with antioxidant-rich foods like blueberries, neglecting sleep or stress management can undermine overall wellness. Physical activity is another cornerstone of healthy aging that works hand in hand with nutrition. The World Health Organization emphasizes that regular movement supports strength, balance, cardiovascular health, and overall well-being. Exercise also improves circulation, which aids nutrient delivery throughout the body. Blueberries can contribute antioxidants and polyphenols, but they cannot replace the systemic benefits of consistent physical activity. Walking, light resistance training, and balance exercises amplify the positive effects of a nutrient-rich diet, creating a synergy that supports both metabolic and cognitive function. This brings us back to the concept of patterns. Health is cumulative. It reflects daily choices repeated over time. Nutrient-dense foods like blueberries play an important role, but they are only one piece of a much larger puzzle. Chronic disease prevention, blood sugar regulation, heart health, cognitive resilience, and digestive function all benefit from a coordinated approach. Balanced meals, adequate hydration, consistent sleep, stress management, and physical movement. Even when we focus on blueberries specifically, understanding context is crucial. Serving size, timing, food pairings, and individual metabolism all influence how the body responds. A handful of blueberries paired with nuts or yogurt produces a gentler rise in blood sugar than a large bowl eaten alone. Gradual introduction of fiber-rich foods allows the digestive system to adjust, supporting gut health and nutrient absorption. For seniors taking medications, consistency in diet becomes even more critical. The NIH highlights that medications, such as anticoagulants, heart medications, and certain blood pressure drugs, are sensitive to dietary fluctuations. Abrupt dietary changes, even with healthy foods, can subtly alter how medications perform. For example, sudden increases in vitamin K intake from leafy greens or other foods can affect clotting mechanisms. While blueberries are not extremely high in vitamin K, their bioactive compounds can still influence vascular function, underscoring the need for stable dietary habits. Food safety continues to be a priority. The CDC reminds us that berries, despite their smooth, pristine appearance, can harbor bacteria or residues. Washing under running water, storing them refrigerated, and discarding damaged or moldy berries helps prevent digestive issues. Even mild gastrointestinal upset can have larger effects on older adults, including dehydration and nutrient loss. Awareness and simple preventive habits ensure that blueberries remain a safe and beneficial choice. All of this points to a broader principle emphasized by the Mayo Clinic, Harvard Health, and WHO. The key to wellness is consistency, moderation, and balance. Blueberries can enhance health, but they are most effective when part of a comprehensive lifestyle that includes movement, sleep, stress management, and varied, nutrient-dense foods. At the end of the day, blueberries are a powerful ally, but only when integrated thoughtfully. The body is an orchestra, not a single instrument. Blueberries contribute antioxidants, fiber, and plant compounds that support vascular health, cognitive function, and digestion. Yet, they are most effective when paired with other nutrients, balanced meals, adequate hydration, restorative sleep, stress management, and regular physical activity. Relying solely on blueberries or any single superfood will never replace the cumulative benefits of a consistent, holistic approach. Gradual, steady habits are particularly important for seniors. Incremental dietary changes, careful portion management, and mindful food combinations allow the body to adapt without causing digestive discomfort, blood sugar spikes, or interference with medications. Hydration, fiber pacing, and food safety all complement the nutritional benefits of blueberries, creating a safe and effective framework for health. It's easy to be seduced by headlines promising instant results from a single food, but science consistently points to the bigger picture. According to the NIH, Mayo Clinic, Harvard Health, and WHO, long-term health depends on patterns repeated daily. Blueberries are part of the equation, but the real power comes from consistent lifestyle choices. So, what's the takeaway? Enjoy blueberries, savor their flavor, and appreciate their nutrients, but do it wisely. Pair them with protein or healthy fats. Practice portion control, maintain consistent eating patterns, stay hydrated, prioritize sleep, manage stress, and move your body regularly. When incorporated thoughtfully, blueberries can help you thrive without creating unintended complications. Remember, this information is educational and not a substitute for personalized medical advice. If you take medications, have chronic conditions, or are considering major dietary changes, consult your healthcare provider. They can help tailor these strategies to your individual needs and ensure that every choice you make supports your overall health. Now it's your turn to take control. Start small, add a modest portion of blueberries to breakfast or a snack, pair it with protein, and observe how your body responds. Use these insights to build habits that support long-term wellness. Health is a journey, not a quick fix, and every thoughtful choice matters. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss practical, science-backed strategies to improve your health, one small step at a time. Start integrating these habits today and watch the difference they can make over time.